Vipi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Up Podcast. My name is MC Opura. Karibuni sana, asanteni sana, wherever you're watching us, whether it's morning, evening, pale uliko, tunasema asante sana. My name, again, I'll repeat it, my MC Opura. I'll repeat it again. It's very important. Now, I'm going to host this show today, and asanteni sana. The first part we did, tuliuliza kama mnaweza come up na mtu anaweza tuambia story yake, and I can tell you, we are going to do your stories hapa mbele because some people have shared their stories. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste my the time. What I will just ask you to do, please, kuna subscription hapo, unaweza subscribe, kuna notification button, hit that notification button, also like and share for this story. As I told you last time, we were talking about inflicted pain, and we're good to go to start this story with inflicted pain. And someone to give us this story today, ni mtu mnajua, ni mse ambaye nimekuwa naye hapa kwa show, is one my co-host, na tulisema hatuwezi anza story huko nje kama huko kwa nyumba tujasikia stories za nyumbani zinaendelea aje. And today, please help me welcome one of the greatest guys we have here. Akipaka niko humble kumuongelesha. Yeah, niko humble kumuongelesha Mr. Jasper Kanyi. Welcome bro.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Wapenzi watazamaji na wasikilizaji. Sasa leo mimi ndio mgeni, alafu ninafanya najibebea chai. Na unafanya najibebea chai. You call me to an interview and you make me,
like, seriously, I don't have a budget, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a budget to pika chai thermos 9. Last time huyu jamaa alikunywa, director tuambie alikunywa ngapi?
Angalau hata
chai vikombe ngapi? Just say it.
Angalau hata 2.
Sasa 16 cups bro.
Hiyo ni tutesha mtu. Na tutesha mtu just 16 cups.
Okay, sawa. Nisho umekuja. Karibu sana. And I see you're wearing something interesting.
Yes, endless story.
Bado under your merchandise?
Still under my merchandise.
Oh, nice. Utatuambia pale utapata merchandise yako. But welcome.
DM tu. Asante sana.
But welcome. Mazee Miss Gore tutaanzia wapi? Tumekuwa tukiwork nawe for long. Nimekujua for 3 years now. So mimi nataka tu kupigia story. Mimi sijui vile utaanza, but welcome.
Unataka nirushe?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or maybe just to give you a background. Have you ever felt pain?
Then.
Have you ever inflicted anyone pain?
Kama demuit. Yes. That is
so wewe ndio utatupatia tu our direction kama usha inflict watu pain ama wewe.
Hiyo ni kawaida ya maisha. When you doing life, you end up stepping on people's toes.
Yeah.
People end up stepping on your toes.
Yes.
Willingly, unwillingly,
yes.
Consciously and unconsciously. And at the end of the day, sometimes you get scars, sometimes you get wounds that don't heal. Sometimes you just get some dirt and you wipe it off. Unaipanguza ikisoma.
Yeah.
Ile ni matope yenye lazima uoshe.
Yeah.
So, yes, I have caused pain to a lot of people. A lot of people have caused pain.
So, where do you want us to go? Where you have caused or people that have caused you?
So, number one, it has taken a lot of courage and a lot of listening to people, a lot of analysis, and
self-reflection.
Yes, I am diagnosing myself of illnesses that nimejiletea. I am going through a lot of problems. Nataka mniombe.
Nani shida nimejiletea?
Yes, in the journey of trying to become a better person, trying to become the person I was meant to be by God, and also the person I dreamt to become. And also, in the future, I will be a father, I will be a husband. I don't want to just be a kawaida person to the people. I want to be a self-aware person.
Yes.
So, in the quest of becoming a better person, yes, I have gotten to dig deeper into my mind and into my emotions and understand that I have caused pain. That part is heavy. You see, most of the times we don't see ourselves as bad people.
Yeah.
Like we are never the villains in the story.
Yeah.
Every time
you're always the hero.
Victim or the hero.
Yeah.
So, yes, I have caused pain, and I have not apologized to everybody. I cannot apologize to everybody. But to those who I have gotten a chance to actually say sorry, I am sorry, and I have said sorry. In the process of reconciliation, some relationships were broken beyond repair, but at least all said and done, I am happy and glad that some of those spaces I am walking out with a clear heart. My heart is at peace knowing that I have made amends. I cannot take away the pain, but acknowledging the fact that I was wrong, seeing that bit, and knowing that not just saying for the sake of saying, like saying from a point of, I also don't want it to remain in my heart that niliumiza mtu na anatembea huku nje akiona. Instead of seeing the person I am becoming, instead of seeing what Christ has, because God has shown mercy. God has actually been very merciful and graceful to my life, and I would want, in as much as life is moving on, I don't want the past to be just the past. I also want the past to be at peace with the past, like with the present. Nisikue natembea kuja na upura nilikuumizanga na niko hapa na najaribu ku preach the word and I cannot get through to you. Najaribu kwa kusema hata kitu ya maana, hata kwa normal conversations. You can be having a normal conversation and just because I hurt you, just because you view me in a different manner, sasa huyu depo inasema. Don't anyone to see me like that. I don't want to see myself. I don't want to see somebody and then I have to pretend I'm not talk because they are around. So having to acknowledge that you are wrong is, takes guts, a lot of guts.
This brings me to ask you, are you ready to take us from that then? Let's jump on the story now.
What exactly do you want to do?
Mimi nimekwambia
what journey? The journey of acceptance, the journey of being hurt. Because in the process of hurting people, you hurt yourself. Especially now when you begin the journey of healing. Now, the effects of hurting people are different. On my end, as a person who caused pain, guilt and shame now are not just guilt and shame.
Okay, so in the journey of telling us the acceptance, you have to tell us a background story. So tell us a background story and then accepting this now the situation that you're in.
You see, for the longest time I felt like I always need to do something to be accepted. Like hakuna vile nakubalika tu. Just because like I have to prove a point, I have to maintain a certain facade just to be accepted. And it has come a long way. It has come a long way kwa sababu all way back in school, way back as I was growing up. Growing up was very sick. Nilikuwa na hepatitis B. Hepatitis B, for those who know, at that time haikuwa na cure. And I believe my parents were even given a timeline for me to leave. I was not going to go past 13. I was not supposed to live past 13 years. I was admitted in hospital sometime and then in the last option, ile option ya mwisho yenye wazazi walikuwa zile za this is we are trying this for the last time. Nilipelekwa hospitali Nanyuki and then this doctor looked at me and said, I'm not going to admit you in the hospital. Allow me to take this boy home. And imagine she took me in her house and stayed with me for a month and I got healed. By the grace of God, I was healed. Now here I am. How many years later? And people say that I will not live back. So, backstory. I used to miss school a lot, but I was a bright boy. And I was a very short guy. And I didn't have that big of a body because of the effects of not eating. So, Ulem say the easiest person to pick on. So the options were be a people pleaser or be a snitch. What do you choose? If you be a snitch, utakuwa sisi tulikuwa na kitu inaitwa kufunga na mtu shule.
Tulikuwa naye hata
so unapiga hesabu mimi tafungwa na mimi na hawa watu wote. And being small and hauna nguvu, hauna voice, haiwaki. So I developed a skill. For me, being an extrovert was a skill that I learned. I was a natural born introvert. Like mimi ule mse najibamba tu in my own space. Naweza kaa tu nijifurahie tu mwenyewe. I was born a creative. So I would create things on my own and be happy. Create joy on my own self. Kwa nenda ushago nilikuwa nachimba shimo na huko chini najenga kanyumba na kapeke yangu na kaumbo. I love that. nilikuwa na popi. So you see,
Motina.
that was not a Motina. It was a thoroughbred. Thoroughbred Motina. So you see, when you experience such a life, such things, you don't just pick things. Like, you don't just choose what to pick. You take everything as it is. Because I want to be accepted by you, I want to be accepted by that person, I want to validate that one, I want to be. So I even didn't have a stand. Singekuwa na msimamo. And now, fast forward, growing up, grow up sasa. When I come to realize, okay, even my identity in Christ is being affected, because how do I relate with this invisible God? I have been in church the whole time, but how do I relate to this invisible God that claims to have my back, claims to be with me all this time?
Yes.
When I can't even relate with myself, when I don't even actually have an identity. Because when you listen mimi ni nani, nasimamia nini sijui. Najua tu nimeokoka sawa. Niko hisa je kuokoka ni kujonjo. But natoka church na natoka club na nifiti. Like how does that work? Natoka mahali niko hivi tumepiga sherehe bado nafiti. Inachosha because sasa hiyo nilikuwa niko na double life. So sometimes it is so tiring. So you end up hurting and bleeding on other people.
Okay.
So my parents, they are frustrated because they are sick, hospital bills and everything. I am not from a rich background, and I would not want to be from a rich background. I know that doesn't make sense, but if I was to choose, I would choose my parents over them. They are not the perfect parents.
Yeah.
They have hurt me in ways that I remember a time I was crying in church because I was preaching. There's a program, Powerhouse Girl Power.
Oh yeah.
So Powerhouse, as we were closing, we had one.
And as you speak, Imeanza.
Yes, one meeting together. Hey, and then the guy who was there, I think it's Pastor George, was speaking about we want to pray for people who have been hurt by their parents. And I remember that time, just breaking down because I felt so heavy. You see, these are people you ought to love, and you love them. But how do you love someone who hurt you? How do you love someone at the same time you feel so mad at them? So I was in between those emotions, and it took over me, and I broke down. And that is just part of the deal, because you see, they were busy trying to provide, busy trying to get me healthy, busy trying to figure out their own lives, and they forgot that when I'm saying between me and my sister, my elder sister, there's a big space. Now fast forward, there's my brother. Then things come, yani tunabaki tu ni sisi wawili tumeshikana aje. Kuna tule tu seclusions, unapata the cousins on the other side, because we are sick, we are sick guys. So hawa wanatuweka kwa kakakunka, hawa ni wanyonge. So if we are picking on anybody, they are picking on you. If people are talking about anyone in class, it's you. So in the quest of trying to please everybody, you lose yourself. So fast forward, growing up, what do you think? What kind of person do you think I'll be?
You'll protect yourself. You'll do everything to make sure that you protect yourself from such environment. You try to, I don't know,
shield. What happened
you
is
bring a shield.
I built a wall around myself, and I did not allow even my friends to get close to that wall, because what was in there was so precious. And even today, I'm still fighting to try and open up that space to people and to God to help me navigate life, because I cannot navigate through life alone. That has tainted my identity in a lot of ways. Sometimes when I was 13, I was sexually harassed. No, you don't know that.
Like a story, bro.
Well, I will not go into details, but
just give us two. Hata kama ni tukavia huko juu tunini.
My mother and my father were working. So my mother was just introduced to a job my father was doing. So I was alone at home with my grandmother, she's the pillar of my life. She has saved my life 1,000 times. I love that woman to death. So my grandmother, here we are, and then we went camping for scouts. Then a guy I trusted.
What age is this?
13. 13.
13, that should be class 7.
Yes,
class
I was
6.
I was in class 8.
Okay.
I think I was 14.
Okay.
I just turned 14.
Okay.
So here I am with a guy that has been entrusted to me.
Scout guys.
And then he's supposed to be like my guardian at this point because my parents aren't around. By that time I am very naive, very like hata sijui nini.
You are trying to explore.
Just a baby.
Unajaribu kuangalia ni nini inaendelea.
Just a kid there, and this guy apparently was gay. So after the camp ends, I am not going home because where I'm going home to who? My auntie where I was supposed to go was closing school the following day, so I had to sleep, wait for them to close school and go in the evening. So this day here, we were left me and another guy, and now this man. This guy was alikujiwa, nikabaki na huyu jamaa. Mimi nilikuwa njaa.
Wait, how old is this guy?
By this time, I think he's 20 something.
He's in 20s.
Late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s.
Okay.
And then late 20s or mid 20s. Mid 20s, between 24 to 28. Yeah. So he comes back, brings chips, we cook eggs, we eat, and then all of a sudden he takes off his pants. Then does his thing. He held me to his body, against his body. He did take off my clothes then. But he was just there doing his thing, humping, and then he finished, took a towel, wiped whatever was on my clothes and whatever was in his hands. And life went on. At this point I don't know what is going on. Like that's something I just ilienda. So in the process, see I'm still waiting. So I was playing along that line.
Wait. After this thing happened, did you even tell your parents?
What am I telling my parents? What do they know of being gay? Like, well, that is unheard of. And sisi tuligrow up design yenyewe. Ukikosea, sisi ukianguka unapigwa kwa sababu ulianguka alafu unaenda hosi. So it's an abomination to even be in the wrong place. What were you doing in that house? So plus I don't think I even recorded on fathomed what just had happened. Nilikuwa tu ile.
Is this guy still alive?
Yeah, I had seen him sometime back. And in high school later he even texted me. I don't know how he got my number. He texted me and said, "Ask you what?"
He was saying sorry.
Sorry for who? I just wanted to, and I think have a conversation. He was trying to have a conversation and not let him. I was just angry and disgusted by him. He even came to high school where I was because he was in charge of scouting in that area. I know when I say this, some guys who will listen to this will know who I'm talking about. But yeah, so it happened. Fast forward.
He might be doing these things to other kids.
Well,
how many? Do you know when you say this? Just coming on my mind, and I'm asking. Do you know even how many?
I am not
victims?
the only person. I am not.
How many victims?
I know of somebody.
And they are silent.
I know of somebody else who he tried to do the same thing.
Okay.
So fast forward. Life happens as nothing happened.
But whoever is outside there, because let me just say this. I'll share one day. Don't worry.
So
sawa, tumekuweka kwa mbele.
Nola, kuna such traumas that you don't get to share. My parents don't even know such happened. And then I remember my first time losing somebody close to me was in 2017. A friend of mine, we grew up together, we used to play together. Just dropped dead. He was sick. He fell kwa grau, akagongwa mguu, and some few sessions za kuangaliwa. Then one time on a Monday he went to hospital. We said debu na upigwe picha, akapigwa picha kaonekana anafaa kwenda Kenyatta. Now this is on a Thursday. He went to hospital on a Thursday. I called the grandmother. Oh no, I went to visit the grandmother. She said, "Oh, Eric alienda hosi, atakuwa kitanda kesho kutwa." So now this is Thursday.
Just casual.
Friday, Kenyatta. Friday, he went. He didn't get a bed. Saturday night he got the bed.
I
Now
know.
he was supposed to be admitted on Saturday. He was not admitted on Saturday. They spent the whole night there with the father. Admitted on Monday. So on Monday I was going to the hospital.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
When you talk about Kenyatta,
I
what's the
have
problem?
history there. But, well,
Mse alipelekwa 11. I remember a friend of mine alipelekwa 11. Mchana ilifika the other day 11. Tunaenda ifika Kenyatta. We try to connect. Umse bado hapa na emergency. You are calling.
Uncle alipelekwa. Uncle was taken to that Kenyatta hospital. What time? Midnight. Na ambulance kutoka Udhaya. Went there. He was not attended to. The following day, 3 in the PM. 3 in the PM. That's like over 12, 15 hours. He's just there. And when I went there, do you know what they were doing? Like his hands were swollen because they were trying to find a line. And then the nurses there were talking about. I remember one nurse saying, "Oh, unakosa line sasa utakunywa drip na mdomo." And I was like, okay, calm down. But well, besides the point. So I'm trying to just pick points, and let's try and connect them together to this inflicted pain. So remember, these are not pains that are caused by
Other people.
It's not. Si ati nilijipeleka hapo nikafanyiwa, si ati mimi niliamua nikafanya hizo vitu.
Uliachiliwa.
I remember at some point in time after that incident, hata hii mwaka haikuisha. My sister sometime when I was like, hata kazi yako still really, and she said a few rough words. Na kazi yangu ni cause trouble, hata wanipeni nafaa nitoke kwa hiyo bomb. And I remember those words to date. And I think she was just angry. But then you see the impact of what she used to say now comes way later to a point where I disconnected with my sister.
No, sorry, I'll have to interject and say this.
Yeah.
No, she was not angry.
She was just angry.
When these people say some things, they mean it.
No, she was just angry. But then, whether she meant it or not, but she was still angry. So, I disconnected from that point.
You disconnected the family.
Sisters, like now you are aliens, you will die. Isa. Na mimi sasa sikuongelezi. So until way later, saizi sana tunabidi and she's 31. She's 30 this year. 10. She's starting that in the 10th. She's 10, 95 years. She's done in 30. Right? Yes. So, sisi yao.
Hebu nirudisha hapa nyuma kwa your friend.
Which friend?
Kenyatta alikufa.
Oh. So, Sunday akapata kitanda, Monday nilikuwa natembea. So, my cousin sons alikuwa na tairi, so nilikuwa napeleka Friday. So nikamwambia shosho, ni aje? Mimi Monday nitakuwa naenda Nairobi. Nitakaa mkukizi. Kwa kazi yangu alikuwa na. It was December. It was around December. My cousin was getting married. It was very past on the November, I think, 20 something. So it was a week before my cousin got married, 2 weeks before my sister got married. My sister was getting married in the 9th of December. My cousin was getting married on the 2nd. So I needed to come, nipime nguo za harusi, ndo niru. So in the process ya kuenda kurudi nilikuwa nione bishta harusi. That fateful morning when I was supposed to go, I was called at 8 in the AM. Although umesikia story ya Eriko. That's that. I had never had someone close to me die like that. Sijawahi shtuka juu ya mtu kufa hivyo. In the process, because hata mama wangu notice. But then, you know the responses of these people are, you have to accept and move on. Like, wewe kubali tu, yaishe. Ama wewe pia unataka kukufa.
Hizi inakuanga.
Hizo tu vitu.
Being told is a way of life.
It's alright, but you see,
there's
an impact of there's something.
They don't know how the relationship was with this person.
You see, times change and people change with times. And the way they were raised, they were not so intact with the emotions as we are. Right now, sisi tuko intact with our emotions, tuko in tune with our emotions and minds so much, and we are aware of what is going on. Sometimes we feel beyond. For them, they were not wired like that. I'd say, it was in tough love, tough life, tough things. They were in an environment which was tough. So they grew the muscles of being tough. So hatukuwa hapo. So what do? Si unapack tu. So you see, I had a bag where I was packing pain without even knowing it's pain. I am about to shock you. I can't believe I'm about to say this. So remember when I just turned 14, that incident happened. So right before I did my KCP, I had my hand on a no, this was 13 years. I was 13 years because I remember I was going to class 8. Yes, I just turned 13. So when I turned 14, exactly 14 years, is when I was doing my KCP. So 2 months before I did my KCP, or 3 months. You holiday August. So umevunjika mkono. Si holiday August ama ni December. Ni August ni siku ni August. So this August holiday, my cousins, kulikuwa na sherehe gani church. It's the Easter time. That Easter time, because I remember we were going to look at church ya kadho tulipoenda huko kulikuwa na form. So tumetoka form ya Easter kadho nini tukakaa tukambogia watu 5 ama 6 hivi 5 au 6 plus a lady, one girl. Her mind is not very okay. And then the older guys agree they are going to have sex with this lady, and she agrees.
How old is this guy?
But this time she's I think 16, 17, ama 18. 16, 17, 18 hapo. I am not sure
What class?
Hakuwa shule. She was older.
Older guys walikuwa how old?
Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. And then one man who was working in my grandmother's place. So they decided niaje
Shamba boy.
Sisi tunafanyaje, sisi tunajibamba na umse na ameamua tu ni hivyo. But guess what? They also decide we are introducing this little boy to this mix. So we get to go to the house, and then this dude now, this older dude, he was a bit drunk. He locks me and this lady into this room, and then they realize we are not doing anything. So guess what they do? He comes in and now stays with us there. There's a whole shenanigans. The rest is history.
He's like supervising you.
Exactly, and I don't know what is happening.
And was he forcing you?
Sister, you see, number one, remember that background I told you about people bullied and not what it is about.
Of course,
so now he's not like physically doing it, but he's standing there. He's expecting something. The girl is there naked. Here you are, not knowing. I promise you, I didn't even know what was supposed to happen there. Fast forward, we are done with that episode. My parents watajua saa ngapi? Nani alijua? I'm even saying this here for the first time. I'm saying it here for the first time.
These people still alive?
Yeah, they are still alive.
I think they are watching, right?
God is gracious enough that I can talk about this and not cry and not siruki na sijajam. But unaona in the first episode of this story, in the beginning I told you, we are results of our circumstances.
Yes.
And what has happened to us.
Yes.
So tell me, someone who is growing in church and all these things are happening around me, how am I supposed to navigate these things? Knowing that my mother is a church leader, my father not so much, but my father I cannot talk to him at this point because he's the superhero.
The king.
He's the king of the house. No one addresses this one directly. Ile times mama mjana tunataka. And the mother, now, unamwambia aje na yeye ni wa kanisa. I don't expect her to understand.
How does she even atajua?
Juu kuna kapedestal fulani kalikuwa hiyo time.
Because also
sister yangu saa ngapi?
Ashakwambia mama hapa kwenye usimini.
So
I get
here we are. Fast forward to high school, everything. High school was a bit things that happened for katikati. But sasa to bring it home. Is ukweli vitu zinakuja mimi inakam, and as a result I have ended up not knowing how to treat ladies. I don't understand. I did used to understand what is the role of a woman in your life. Like women, because we're in the sexual too. Because you're not introducive too. Like you're not anything aside from what is built in your legs.
So it made you not have respect over ladies.
I don't think I call it respect. I don't call it respect. Worth.
What's the word for this?
Wewe sasa okay, ni sawa na kuona, but what are you supposed to do in my life beyond after we sleep? Okay, if you're not sitting together, what are you doing in my life? And again, you get to, because they were part of that body, like she agreed to that, so she was the foundation of everything. I think every other woman that came in my mind, she was the same. It's just that she's not claiming that. So over time, unapata relationships to move, and now you end up not opening up because of piling this up. It's too much to bring out. So you know what I developed? The skill I developed, reading other people. Now I can read someone like a book, understand your struggles. Let's work on your struggles. Zangu wachana nazo. Wacha nikujue wewe. Nakuwa nurse. I am nursing your wounds. Then immediately after you heal, unaishia. So, hivi tu, kazi ni kuenda kurudi. Until now, here we are.
Now let me ask you a question. Mazee ni deep. Ni hata mimi sijui nitasema nini. That's why most of the time nimekuwa nimenyamaza tu. Just to listen.
Uliuliza, what is the story behind it?
Yeah, endless story.
That is why we have an
Well, I thought that ladies and gentlemen, I thought that I usually tell people that my life story is a book. But this one, okay, mine I know is a movie, is a book. Because yangu I think tutaenda na episodes.
Tumeshare too. You see,
that one is just the part of you,
tip of the iceberg.
But
what is going on? If we have time, only if we have time, we decide to.
Jasper, I'd like you to come to find another one for you.
Well, time to.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I mean share yangu, I will have to do part 2 of your story.
God is gracious enough. Because at some point in time, I even left.
I will need to know now your journey of healing. Me, I just need to know the journey of healing because, you know, bro, how many people outside there are molested? As we speak saizi, kuna mtoto wa 3 years, kuna mtoto wa 1 year.
Jo, na kuna sasa wenye
kuna mzee
hapo. This is very embarrassing. But I will say it. As a result, kuna wasichana wenye mimi nilala na wao. Wewe sasa you are just a tool. Like I made you believe you are important without knowing. Subconsciously to unconsciously nilikuwa tu in there. Role play. See after umetoa nguo nikakosa maana yako. And then somehow natural day of the relationship you don't talk anymore. I ended up hurting a lot of the ladies who wanted maybe to be part of my guys who wanted to be part of my friend group because I don't understand how this works. I don't understand how you can be good to me. Again, feeling up to now this person who now wants to be validated but not be on the wrong side of anybody. I didn't understand the fact that I can agree to disagree. You have an opinion on something. Si lazima nikuunge mkono. Naweza sema hapana na ikuwe sawa. So unaweza sema kitu direct hapa na sema kitu kingine alafu zinakuwa zile za I agree with you, I agree with you.
We good to go. Man.
Yeah.
Thanks Sana. I know we have to end this show here because of time and because I know you have other engagements to do for today. Imagine we'll go guest wetu and thank you Sana for coming. And I usually say beyond our life, beyond whatever people see here, there's a backstory about us. And I usually say it's very important to show your scars to people that you're talking about. And because we're talking about this, the next time you're coming, please allow me to ask you this time around before to end Adam next. Have you healed or how did you manage to, if you are healed, how did you manage? If not, what are you doing to get healed?
There's something you mentioned. It's important to show your scars. I met with a group of people who are not afraid of showing scars. And something we don't understand about scars, you don't have a scar if the wound is not healed. If you don't have a scar, you have a wound.
Yeah.
A wound is painful. Scars are not painful. Just
Scars
reminders of
kama hii nilichomwa na mamangu baada ya kuiba.
Unajua
mrembo
nilianguka, nilianguka nikagongwa, alikuwa na scar. It just reminds me of a time that happened. But the beauty of showing scars is, imagine you survived. So I got to a point where I had God allowed me to be in a space where people are showing their scars vulnerably and proudly to show. Check it. Niliumia, but imagine I made it. I survived. So don't be afraid to show those scars. To your question on whether I heal, every day is a day to try and be better. Every day is a day to accept the things that there is a serenity prayer. You accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you can. But well, I am still in the process. Some of those things I have behind me. Proudly, I can say they are behind me. But some of those things are the reason why I have not quit. It's a journey. I am here sharing things I never thought I would tell anybody. Things that we feel like, hey, to care. But this is how I'm saying. This is how. And it's a journey. You guys will help me grow, help me heal, and life will be what it is.
I know by you sharing this story, kuna mtu wako hapo nje, that's why I was saying. Kuna mtu wako hapo nje ajui vile atafanya, kuna mzazi wako na mtoto wako molested ajui vile atafanya kwa sababu maybe alipeleka history kwa court. Maybe kama anajua, maybe anajua alipeleka history kwa court kwa sababu ule mtu alifanyia hiyo kitu ni higher being somewhere.
Wakanunua walihaya lawyer na wewe wakanunua judge.
Yes, wakanunua walihaya lawyer
ule mwingine akanunua judge.
Yes. So mzazi ajui atafanya nini?
Well, so number one, if for a case such as that, beyond getting justice and everything, I think the first step is acceptance. The first step is within yourself, heal, because the higher power, the highest power is God. And vengeance belongs to.
Now, you know what that thing I want to ask you. I know I was to end, but nisamehe tu kidogo. Have you forgiven those people? Or if you have not forgiven them, ushaikutana nao na ushaikutana nao ni ushaifikiria kufanya?
God is gracious. God is gracious. He has allowed me to not be an angry person. I'm not naturally, I'm not angry. So sitafikiria ati ni kuwewa nini, but sometimes you just think, I wish you knew what you did to me. I wish you knew how much you have cost me. I wish you knew how far down there you left me. I wish you knew how far, like how deep I am, and how far now I have to go up just to get past that one. Your stupidity. You see, that one moment, where will you nakada kabigi, where will you nakada, where will you nakada, whatever you saw it as, where will you gonna lash out to say words, but look at me, more than 10 years later, still fighting that, and maybe for you, you moved on. So, a challenge to everybody that is watching, you will get to listen to this. So, be mindful of what you say and what you do to others. People might be out here, and the reason why things are not happening for you is because just like Abel's blood cries for vengeance, people might be out here. They committed suicide because of you. The last thing they said to God was, I cannot live when this man is alive. I cannot live when this woman is alive. So, beware. Beware. That's that.
Thanks. Again, shukran sana for coming.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll end our show from there. Nikikuitisha second episode utaka?
Utajua.
Yeah. Because najua wewe na umeniweka kwa box ya hata I know listeners are waiting for after this
kitu wasaidia.
I know people are waiting after this Now who is next to come?
Acha tuone.
Sawa.
Hii nayo sasa ni #piga story.
Manze piga story #thank
One
you.
life at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this show. Thank you for being here. I know maybe umepitia some of the stories kama zinamesha. As I said the first episode, I'm really sorry Jasper. On behalf of those guys, they won't get time kuambia sorry. Or maybe they won't be that ready to tell you sorry. But on behalf of those guys, on behalf of everyone that alikuwa kwa life yako akafanya hivyo, na on behalf of everyone ambaye ako kwa hiyo story, please nasema tu sorry. God hawezi tu hawezi tu kuwapatia nini chance, na give God chance. That was what I would say.
Hawezi also prepare Yesu chance.
Yes, also you give God chance and he will do his own thing. Thank you sana.
By his stripes, we are healed.
That's been Turn Up Podcast. My name is Victor Pura. Get us where, Jasper?
The Turn Up Podcast. TikTok, Instagram, Turn Up Podcast 254. YouTube, MC Opura TV, The Turn Up Podcast.
Get us there.
Tutaka kunipata Jasper Kim at Instagram ama at Jasper.
At Jasper ni ART
Jasper.
Yes, where he does
This is where we do the merchandise.
Yes, great.
Endless story and still at the back.
Endless story. Do not cry because it is over. Smile because it happened. Wow.
Correct.
Thank you. Till we meet again. God bless.
Adios.